Ah, j'ai lancé au fait. Ah oui, attends, je regarde là. Vas-y. T'entends au cas où, je sais pas si tu veux. Hein? Là, c'est quoi? Ouais. Il faut que tu... Je sais plus... Attends. De quoi? C'est normal, c'est normal. Voilà, ouais, ouais, je suis en train de... Vas-y, dis un truc. Ah, j'ai pas entendu. Non mais si, c'est bon, mais j'ai pas entendu. Bébert. Bon. On t'est dessus là. Hein? Comment ça? Non mais va dans la partie là et tu fais rejoindre diffusion. Si, bah là tu vas sur moi, tu vas le voir. De l'autre côté, ouais, non, c'est parce que je suis pas du bon côté en fait. C'est pour ça. Ouais, mais peut-être parce que t'es resté sur moi, j'avais pas encore lancé la diff. Ouais, c'est possible. Comme ça, tu vois, ouais. Y'a quoi? Putain, mais moi je vais dessus, ça marche. Donc, je sais pas, fais quelque chose avec ta compte. Ah, ça y est? Elle n'est pas en cours. Bah, si, elle est en cours. Comment je fais pour savoir que je t'entends dans la diffusion si la diffusion. L'histoire est pas. Non, mais je sais. Non, mais je te crois, c'est pas le problème. C'est te dire pour dire que pour toi ça va pas, il y a un problème de ton côté, c'est ça que je veux dire. Hmm. Ouais, ouais. Tu mets Call of Cthulhu, là tu fais CTH, comme ça au moins tu trouveras direct. Ah oui, ouais, c'est bon. Tu vois le menu et tout. Tu vois une nouvelle partie et tout. Ouais, ah ouais, tiens, d'ailleurs, je voulais vérifier ça. Euh... Ce titre, là. bah oui, ça. Ah bah oui, ça. Bon, bah y'a quoi. Ouais, je dis plus rien. Edward Pierce, vétéran de la Première Guerre mondiale. Ah, excuse-moi. Ouais, de toute façon, moi j'étais en train de bafouiller, laisse tomber. Entrez dans la folie. La folie est miséricorde. Puissent les dieux prendre en pitié l'homme insensible qui demeure sans esprit, confronter l'abominable vérité.
What a putrid offering. Don't fight. You have been chosen. Behold. Everything has already been written. But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
Je déteste le whisky. Hein?
The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases. I used to be an avid reader.
De quoi?
Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. Her husband couldn't understand it. A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy. Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
Ouais, non, c'est bon, faut pas déconner. C'est ce que je te disais. Ah ouais, attends. Ouais, voilà. Bah non, je te dis pas le même menu, mais c'est le même principe en fait.
En fait, tu dois avoir 3 parties à faire. La partie occuliste.
Occultisme. Ouais, parce que occultisme.
Comme dans le Sherlock Holmes, il y avait 3.
I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce.
Justement, si t'en
I'm
veux un, il faut pas boire du
Sheriff
tout.
Field, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
Donc à chaque fois, genre, que tu redonnes des trucs, tu gagnes des pourcentages, enfin, des trucs pour pouvoir acheter des tokens au fur et à mesure, c'est ça?
Mm.
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, you still...
Allez, ta gueule.
I'm coming.
Je vais dégoûter.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
Un repère d'ivrogne, j'ai pas bu, connard.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
What am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin. What's this symbol on the man's chest? It's as if Sarah Hawkins breathed a message into it.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
Tu vois, si j'aurais pas fait évoluer le truc, c'est bien, j'aurais pas pu débloquer cette réponse.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must
Enfin,
find
à toi
out.
de l'adapter, quoi.
Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
En même temps, ça fait partie d'un objectif.
Ah. Oui, mais tu vas des fois apporter plus de choses qui n'est pas forcément utile à ce moment-là, quoi.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
The meaning could be exactly as it appears. I think your daughter is sending you a message.
That's what I believe, too. It was 3 months ago that I received the call from the police telling me of my daughter's death. And yet a short while after, this painting was delivered to my home. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
Darkwater. Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
Ça, c'est encore blanc.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think...
That is what... Go to...
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Pas
Quiet
blanc,
down.
c'est-à-dire que tu l'as pas fait, mais...
I'm on your side. Let's sum things up.
Bah oui.
An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right, I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there.
Ah, là, ce que j'ai là, c'est... Tu vois, ça va m'apprendre la médecine. Ça, tu vois, ça c'est des choses qu'il faut que tu trouves. Là, hop, il me le montre.
De toute façon, le mieux c'est de tout.
Voilà, et là je vais monter. Bah oui.
The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract. I used to be an avid reader.
Oui, après, au plus tu sais de choses, au plus
Hop.
The Lost Battalion.
voilà, ça va le
Holding your position and obeying orders.
il doit y avoir des
That isn't courage.
Bon, encore la phase du début.
Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then. All I have to do is go to the port. Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. I should get rid of all this stuff.
Ah.
I wonder why I still take these things.
Peu.
somnifères. Si tu les as ramassés, c'est peut-être quelque chose.
Non. Enfin, ouais, mais c'est pareil, c'est trophée ça aussi.
Sûrement que tu dois en avoir besoin.
Moi j'évite d'être un drogué, tu vois. Donc.
Oui, mais bon, après, le principe du jeu, en fait, c'est comme un bundle.
Quoi?
Ça? Non, mais le principe, c'est ce qu'ils appellent bundle, en fait.
Un
C'est de
bundle.
chercher avec les...
Mais non, bundle, c'est deux jeux différents ensemble.
Non, le bundle, c'est les jeux où tu dois chercher comme ça. Click and shit. Ouais. Parce que l'autre fois, il y avait marqué bundle, moi j'ai pris tout ça là.
Non, normalement non.
Ouais, je pense que c'est ça. Bon, enfin, bon, bref. Je vois ce que je veux dire, moi, c'est le même principe, ça, je veux dire.
Jeu d'enquête tout simplement, ça va plus loin. Contre le chargement, j'avoue. On...
Mais j'aimerais bien savoir, on doit pouvoir trouver le nombre de chapitres.
Ouais, je pense. Ah, je peux voir, je pense. Il doit y avoir des trophées à chaque chapitre. Regarde. Il y a quand même 50 trophées dans le monde. Pas besoin. Voilà, ça coule. Quand tu joues, ça coule. Tu vois. Voilà. Petite présentation, pas mal. C'est bien en jeu comme ça, c'est l'ambiance elle est bien. Enfin, elle est bien.
almost there.
Ouais. Ah oui, c'est ça. Oui. Cthulhu. Je t'ai dit, ouais, sûrement sur les trophées. Quand je le répète 2 fois, hein, sans le vouloir.
Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great pain to what a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks. Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover. This blackboard hasn't been used in a long while. The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor. Broken. This place seems half abandoned. I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
Ah, j'ai un zippo, hein, je déconne pas. Hein. Attends, je te montre les livres, hein. Ce sera pour toi quand tu joueras. Ouais. Je fais des cheat codes. Tu triches. Bah si, je suis obligé.
This man and Fitzroy could be twins.
Oh oui, non, mais c'est pas dur à trouver.
What a macabre souvenir.
Dans le moindre petit recoin et tout. Ouais. Ah. Petit caca. caché comme ça, en plus dans le jeu. Hmm.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. But that's all I'll get from them.
Ah, voilà. Il est où? Ah, Josh.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
Ah. J'ai pas eu ça la première fois.
I don't know. It's not my signature next to that of Charles Hawkins.
I'm at sea for more than half the year. Anyone could have done it during my absence. What seems really important to me is that the dates on these manifests indicate that Charles probably had other contracts.
But not with you, though. I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I was looking at your photograph. One of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that. A She terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Ah ouais.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so
Ouais,
much?
vas-y.
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I shall take my leave.
Let the police do their work. Hey, Sullivan. Can't go any faster?
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
Don't put that beast back in.
What could have done so much damage?
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
Oh bah je sais. Hein.
St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in.
Water, you shysters, you're crazy. They're cops. They can't understand.
The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
They seem to be very agitated about a dead animal.
You're telling me? These fools think that putting the whale back in the water will bring about the end of the world.
They're superstitious.
If only you knew. They only listen to Captain Fitzroy. And not always. And you. What brings you to our island?
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
I like you, so I'll be frank with you. Don't go near the place. Don't try to get in.
Why?
Because I told you so. Learn to accept some friendly advice. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You can't understand. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
We're no longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
I told that flunky that he'll see what a real sailor has in his belly.
If you continue like that, everyone will see what you've got in your belly.
I hope so. I hope they don't forget the lesson. Me? I'm not scared of some girl.
I mean they're going to cut you open, you idiot. Calm down.
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine. Hey, be careful. Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
Normal.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
You saw it just like me. That bum deserved a lesson.
Yeah, but he's a regular, and you're not.
I can see that you and I are off to a bad start. I'm here for information, not for a fight.
I prefer it that way. Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
The stranded whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of dockwater, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. And I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable?
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
What do you know about the Hawkins warehouse?
If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader.
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
He said, "You have no right to treat us like this."
Ouais.
And the doctor.
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens.
We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
Bah non.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
I saw the newspaper clipping. You don't believe it, do you?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
I heard the Hawkins family owned a warehouse on the docks.
An old family of ship owners.
Tell me something I don't already know.
They were made much richer by the miraculous catch.
You shouldn't talk about the dead like that.
We're not speaking ill, we're just saying that Daniel Hawkins made a fortune without taking any risk.
There! You're speaking ill, you see?
It's your proof that the miraculous catch really did happen.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
I had the wings of the girly voice.
What? Another break?
One of those damn sailors came looking for trouble again.
Can't you see that we're in the middle of a conversation? I told you to beat it. I told you to beat it.
No.
Charles Hawkins was a heavy drinker. And a debtor. Interesting.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
Apparently, the bootleggers don't want anyone hanging around the warehouses.
They're part of the private property I mentioned earlier.
And yet the place looks abandoned. Why guard the entrance?
As a precaution, I suppose. All the warehouses are more or less interconnected by old sewers.
You mean that there's a way to go from one to the other by tunnel?
I couldn't tell you if it's still the case today for all the warehouses on the island, but I think I can imagine what you've got in mind. You can always visit them if you're not the claustrophobic type. You're back again. What can I do for you?
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
Il n'y a rien de plus.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
How can I be the one who defaced your saint? I've just come ashore, you idiots.
That's true. We're as drunk as lords.
You bet. You could have gone by without us seeing you.
Do not rile me. You can hardly stand up.
He's right. We're no match.
For the moment. We're annoyed. It's understandable.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to dark water?
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Oh, hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
No, if it gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who.
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway. Who's this guy?
No idea. You better keep it shut.
Why, we don't have a clear conscience.
Quiet.
What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
I went to see the statue of St. Brendan.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors?
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
Cat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes?
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile at the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope he had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's going to be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
I've got to get inside. It's your boss who sent me.
Oh, yeah? And why didn't she say anything to us?
She sent me to see who's filching her stock.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You got no proof to back up your claims, and I'd advise you against snitching.
If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way.
What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, a lot.
Oh. I bid you gentlemen farewell. If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way.
Where do you think you're going?
Who are these others so interested in the warehouse?
And why would I tell you?
You and I are on the same side of the law.
Oh, yeah?
You don't want to know the truth behind this case.
Are you saying our work was not up to snuff? Forget it.
I thought that the Hawkins case had been closed.
That's true.
So what are you doing on guard duty in front of this warehouse?
Who's asking the questions here, the cop or the tourist?
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone. You again. I told you to beat it.
No need to get worked up.
Well, look who's back.
Did you miss us?
I have an offer that could interest you.
We're listening.
I need you to keep them busy for a while.
You send us to take the punishment while you go quietly about your business. What's in it for us?
What would convince you to help me?
There's only one thing that'll get us to move.
For sure. Bring us something to drink and we'll take care of the bootleggers.
Liquor?
Exactly.
I'll try to find some for you.
Ça, la première fois, j'ai pas fait ça. moi.
Shysters, you're crazy. They're cops. They
pas
can't
pareil.
understand. Damn stupid idiots.
J'ai pas eu besoin. Quoi. Je pense que les deux, j'ai utilisé un dialogue qu'il fallait pas avant. Oh. J'ai une bouteille là.
Do you like our song?
We may not be...
That's true.
I bid you farewell.
Good night.
So long.
Hors de te cacher. Ça, on va aller voir lui peut-être.
You're back again.
C'est ce
What
que
can I
j'essayais,
do
mais
for
ça,
you?
s'il n'y a pas de symbole.
I shall be on my way.
So come.
Ouais, mais c'est les mêmes écriteaux. Rien qui va changer. Garde un saut, garde un saut. Ah, vas-y, je vais doucement. Ça m'arrive des fois quand je suis grave fatigué ou quoi. La fatigue. Ouais. Tu vois, quand t'as des objets à trouver, il te l'indique. Ouais. Quand t'as des objets à trouver, il te l'indique. Ouais, tu vois en bas à gauche, ça clignote. Tu vois, les objets à trouver, c'est ça quoi. Genre. Okay.
A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil. This tunnel goes under the warehouses. I could use this old winch to lift the grating, but it's been completely taken to bits. There must be some spare parts amid all this clutter.
Ouais, tiens, bon, vas-y, on va tenter. Ça, c'est un trophée, ça.
This handle will be perfect for the winch. A ratchet device. Exactly what I need. It should be possible to mount this cogwheel on the winch. Looks like everything is in its place. All I have to do is turn this handle.
Oh. Je te dis, c'est vraiment pas la même chose que la première fois, quoi. Non, c'est parce que j'ai pas fait de la même manière tout, en fait. Il y a des choses...
Smoke. It's coming from this oil. I hope it's not toxic.
Je connais pas, je sais pas où je vais là. Ah, peut-être, il y avait un autre chemin, mais... c'est juste à côté, donc je sais pas. Par exemple, on va voir là-bas, je serai plus rapide. Ah bah non. Bah y'a rien. J'ai jamais eu ça. C'est quoi ça? Oh, j'ai eu un trophée en fait. Ah bah putain, ça te fait souffle avec une lumière, je suis pas sûr.
This is primitive.
Ah ouais, ça rage des pièces. Ça lâche des pièces. C'est le bateau. Putain, je suis jamais passé par là.
Oh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case?
Ah, c'est sûr. Non, mais c'est vrai, il est vraiment bien. C'est bien fait. Après, je te préviens, t'as une phase quand même, tu risques d'être en stress. Elle est facile, mais tu vas être en stress. Ouais, non, mais c'est juste une phase en fait. Tu comprends pourquoi elle est faite, mais c'est normal en fait. Ouais, je vois, t'inquiète, si vraiment c'est galère, je pourrais t'aider. Parce que moi, je sais comment le faire en 2-2 en fait. J'ai galéré en fait avant de savoir faire en 2-2 quoi. Ouais. Non, non, c'est facile. Tu es en pression. Flipper, non. Parce que, enfin, tu vas avoir une pression quand même. Bah, c'est psychologique ce jeu. Alors, bon. Ouais. Ouais, voilà, c'est comme c'est psychologique, tu vois, mais c'est pas concret, quoi, on va dire. Même si c'est là, c'est pour ça que je te dis, ce sera là quand même, parce que c'est concret d'un sens, mais c'est une phase de pression, quoi. Mais elle est courte, elle est courte. En fait, si tu sais la faire comme il faut, elle est courte. C'est pour ça, au pire, je t'expliquerai comment la faire rapidement. Hmm. Ouais, non, mais je regarde des fois, parce qu'en fait, même s'ils disent... si dès que tu vois les faces blanches comme ça, là, ça veut dire qu'il faut que tu fasses ça, en fait. Et là, tu passes en phase d'investigation, en fait. Là, tu vas comprendre. Là.
What happened here? Le Petit Parisien. Who might keep a news clipping about Sarah Hawkins?
Huh?
Can't sleep.
No.
I know how that feels. Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks. What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here? Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings?
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! You again. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
Look around you. Someone has settled in here. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it.
It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene. Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you...
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf? I've got my eye on you. We'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Voilà, première fois le passage.
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Pour le Corvette là. Ah. Alors, 1924 je crois c'est... On en est loin. Ça va, il y a de quoi faire. Je le fais pas de la bonne manière, je pense. Après, là encore, cette phase s'est passée. Mais en fait, je pense que toutes les phases passent, mais c'est seulement la manière qui est différente. Quand j'ai vu un petit peu, j'ai failli faire la manière forte. Mais... Parce que même la première fois, j'ai pas fait comme j'ai fait là, quoi. Mais ça a fait pratiquement la même chose. C'est le discours qui est différent et après ça vient direct la même chose après cette phase en tout cas. Parce que l'autre c'est bien différent. Le chemin que j'ai fait, j'ai pas fait du tout la même chose.
Well, here we are. Hawkins Mansion.
Ouais. J'ai pu en gratter un.
The place has been abandoned since the fire.
D'argent.
There's only old Winchester in his hut.
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room.
Ça va.
And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around it, would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
You stay here and keep an eye on things.
Okay. But don't get the impression that I'll leave you alone inside the mansion.
Jeepers. Poe's prophetic raven.
Oh, j'avais pas eu la première fois, tu vois, le corbeau.
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined, but the architecture seems too recent. Poor kid. Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this? The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. I'll have to find another entrance. This entrance is still in use.
Whoa! Whoa! You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them. Dump them into the ocean.
You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. And let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
Sarah Hawkins' father sent me here to investigate the death of his daughter.
Webster, huh? I understand how he feels. But me? I want the dead to rest in peace. And that means kicking the ass of gumshoes like you.
Why would you not want me to help understand what happened here?
I've got nothing to hide. Tell me what you're doing here. And no baloney.
The police report describes a domestic accident. But Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
The mansion isn't safe. You would break your neck as sure as you're trying my patience right now.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked. And I make sure it stays that way.
No one lives in the mansion, and you don't take care of it anymore. If you have a good reason to be here, I'm listening.
There's vermin. I keep an eye out.
Vermin?
Yeah, that's it. Vermin.
Right. This is what we're going to do. I go inside, and I promise that I'll hunt vermin. Okay with you?
I'm not sure.
If there's nothing else to fear, you can give me that key.
Right. Take the key and do what you have to do. Go on, then. Just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
Pierce, shall we enter? Now that you've finished your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go.
Stop bothering me.
Let's take a look inside.
I'm coming with you. There's no way I'll leave you alone in there without a watchful eye.
Le manuel.
C'est pas mal, c'est pas mal. C'est sympatoche.
Ouais. Un truc à faire.
Glauque, par moment c'est un peu glauque, mais...
Ouais, c'est volontaire, hein. C'est l'univers qui veut ça. Le deuxième, c'est un peu le même délire, hein, j'ai vu. Enfin, ça a l'air quoi. Le truc pas psychédélique, tu vois des phases à un moment. Non, non, c'est The City in City. Il l'est déjà. City in City. Regarde sur le store, tu verras. Tu pourras voir. City in City, il est déjà. Vraiment dans le même délire, truc chelou.
Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
Moi, je sais pas s'il est à 20, là, je sais pas combien il est.
Ouais, il est à 20.
Ouais. Oh, j'avoue, c'est déjà pas mal. Hein. C'est une belle.
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me?
Il pourra, hein, mais quand, je sais pas. Au pire, ce sera 5 euros.
What kind of meat is this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here. Smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched? Something happened at this table. An argument?
T'en as hein, des délires, mais j'avoue t'en as pas beaucoup sur ce que j'ai vu. Ouais, oui, mais c'est parce que ça a l'air plus ciblé sur l'histoire. T'as des trucs bien sûr, mais ouais, je vois ce que tu veux dire. Pas d'autre. Merde.
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door. Silas managed to bring the fire under control, but it was already too late for the Hawkins.
Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer? Too much rubble. I'll find an easier way. They seem happy, but Charles is already looking off into the future. His marriage just a stop along the way. Let's see if I can find something the cops missed.
Je vais arrêter là aussi. Attends, y a pas... Non, c'est bon, de toute façon, c'est bon, juste avant. C'est parfait.